So recently, Darren decided to tell me in my comments that I was responsible for all the rage Blue feels and all of his problems in life and etc. because I called him a name. Never mind the fact that Blue's problems with me started way before that, and Blue has a history of raging at people online, either through text or even verbally in live streams. When he's allowed into a live stream, which is on a rare occasion, because he talks like a drunken sailor who needs to say the F word every other word. So, and I was thinking about, I was working on my book earlier, and I was reading in this one, some of the source material that I'm going to use for my book. And oddly enough, I flipped open to, I was reading a paragraph earlier, and I saw this, and so I'm just going to read this to you. A legitimate cause rarely generates the kind of hatred that sacrifices the innocent. Hatred works in the opposite direction. The cause does not generate the rage. The rage demands locating a cause, resentment at one's lot in life, remembering that there not need be actual deprivation, but psychological feelings of deprivation, for example, generates a powerful rage that seeks a justifiable outlet. Now, I know one of the things that, I know they'll be like, well, you're not innocent. You stole a house. You're a felon. Was it Blue's house that I stole? And see, I remember one, I can't think of the name of the channel, but it was some Canadian woman who basically, I remember she made a video where she was just raging and screaming that I had supposedly stolen a house. Now, never mind that I've repeatedly explained the situation where I was the victim of a con man by the name of Tim Maris, who used me as a patsy, yes, to commit real estate fraud. Yes. Did I break the law? Yes, of course. Did I steal a house? No, because I thought that I was undertaking a legitimate real estate deal, because I was listening to a criminal who I did not know was a criminal. So yes, in this regard, I was an innocent victim. I still am an innocent victim of Tim Maris. Now, does Blue or anybody else want to talk about Tim Maris? No, they never do. It's been over 10 years since they decided, since the incident happened where I was basically turned into a felon by the illegitimate court of California. But the fact that Blue doesn't want to fucking take responsibility for his own miserable existence, and instead sits there and goes, oh, Nick is a felon, Nick did something wrong, I'm just going to keep piling on to Nick because he's an easy scapegoat, he's an easy outlet for my rage because, number one, he doesn't have any power, he doesn't have any, subscribers really to speak of, and since he already has all these haters who hate him and claim that he's responsible for their miserable existence. Here's the thing, Darren. I'm not responsible for Blue's choices in life. Blue is responsible for Blue's choices in life. Blue is responsible for Blue's behavior. Blue is responsible for his deep-seated, emotional, dysfunctional garbage that causes him to decide to harass people and attack people online. So no, I'm not going to take responsibility for his nonsense. And here's another thing. Blue started on my ass long before I even called him or suggested that he was a pedo. The thing of it is like, you poke someone, you attack someone repeatedly for no reason, at some point they're going to fight back. I'm not going to sit there and apologize for calling him a name when he, for years, goes on to other people's channels, not only mine, but other people's, and will rant and rage and scream and be vicious and demand other people take responsibility and accountability when he himself has no accountability, refuses to take any responsibility for his behavior in any way, shape, or form. So no, I'm not his dumpster. I'm not his rage dumpster. I'm not the dumpster that he gets to walk over to when he's feeling a moment of irritation and gets to vomit his garbage into. No, he doesn't get to do that. If it was a legitimate grievance, which it's not, mind you, it never has been, but if it was a legitimate grievance, I'd have no problem apologizing. The problem is, he's not going to change his behavior. I could apologize all day long. I could do everything I could to make Blue happy, to make him a happy person. It's not going to change his behavior. He's not going to change. He's going to keep treating me like absolute garbage. I could literally send him $1,000, right? And just say, this is for you. I hope you have fun with it. And he'd still, in the comments, be, you're a worthless, miserable Sheldon. He's not going to change his behavior. He's not going to change. No amount of giving, of forgiving, of kindness, of whatever, is going to change his behavior. And therefore, I'm under literally no obligation to change mine. I'm under no obligation to remove my boundaries in regards to him. And when I tell him, no, you're not allowed to call me retarded, you're not allowed to call me a criminal, you're not allowed to call me all kinds of names, I'm going to stick with those boundaries. Because I've seen his behavior on other people's channels, and everybody for some reason just seems to go, oh, that's just Blue. It's just Blue. She has an anger problem. It's perfectly okay. No, it's not okay. And the fact that I stood up to him is probably another reason why he's in such a rageful mood, because, I'm one of those people who actually stood up to him, and I'll continue to stand up to him. I'm not going to tolerate his nonsense, and I'm not responsible for his rage. He needs to go to a therapist. He really does. Blue needs to see a fucking therapist and get his shit sorted out, because you know what? I'm not his therapist. I don't want to be his therapist. I'm not his friend. I don't want to be his friend. If anything, if he snaps at me, I'm going to snap right back, and I have every right to do so in reality.